Hello and welcome to Richard's Reviews. There seems to be so much noise going on around here at the moment. Anyway, I hope this doesn't ruin the video. We're going to take this car packed complete with bike to Cannock Chase with a new GoPro to try it out. So let's see how that turns out today. See you later. So we've arrived at the Birches Valley Forest Centre and we're just leaving the car park area, going by Go Ape, and you'll see the signs on the side of the road. We're now leading into the first section, which is Twist and Shout, and shortly you'll see there's a staged area. This is actually the black going down, dropping over the edge of that. Fairly straightforward, not too difficult. And now we're into a tree section. Now these trees are actually quite close together, and it's difficult to get any speed up. It's rather a flat area, but the stones here are quite sharp and in some cases quite smooth, and that makes it a little bit tricky to get around at any speed. I find it actually slightly better when it's been raining a bit. Now we've just cut out a section there and we're coming to the end of that first section. Now we've got some stones coming up if you just look, and we go down a staircase. Not too difficult, but just beware it's there, and then round this 90-degree bend before we head into section 2 called Stegosaurus. We're straight away confronted with a rock garden, and it's a sort of staircase down, so you just have to take your time going around there and around that 90-degree bend. Then we ride along for a little bit, but we have to get ready now and get our seat in the right position and the gearing right for the next section. So here we're going to hit some rocks. Now these first rocks are not too difficult, although you can't see too much what's going on. Over the bridge next. Now this leads us into a new section, or a relatively new section, which is quite tricky. Now these are rather large flat stones, but it's easy to get your wheel caught in one of these and come to a complete stop. So see there's quite large flat stones. Now this leads us next into another trail section, and we'll just cut this down a little bit. It's not too difficult, this is nothing much to report on this. But as we come to this bridge, there's a 90-degree drop-off, and you have to come round. Now, start to get some speed up here. They've put a new little landing bridge in here, so it's wider than the old one. And now you've got to start pedalling hard, because this is a bit of a climb. You'll see here that I take the course to the right-hand side. Now, this is my preferred course, and here it is. So I'm going up this, but it's very narrow, this is. Even though the camera's given the appearance of it being really, really narrow, it's actually wide enough to ride on. And then coming out of there, still climbing a little bit, we're going to come out into the end of the Stegosaurus section 2. Now we ride along one of these trail sections shortly, go through this gate, or to the side of this gate, high up on that edge there, and then we'll lead into section 3, which is Watch Out for Trolls. Now I've shown you a map here as well. You'll see the first sections, there's a slightly incline, and we come to the first hard bit, which is a black section. Now you can go right or left here. I'm going left down a very small rocky section, and then coming onto these boardwalks. Now again, it looks narrower than it actually is, but you just got to keep your wits about you on here. I've never fallen off here. And what you do, you follow that through. Now at the end here, you've got to really pedal hard up this next section, and then over this root that sticks out. It's quite tricky in the wet, that is. And they've taken all the trees down here on the left hand side. And okay, so now we're coming to the end of the Watch Out for Troll section. Now here, through that gap there, you have to come around and again try and get some speed up to get over this next bend. See those roots there, try and avoid those. And then round. Now this comes down to a very short downhill, and then through a small wooden fence. So you just have to watch that at the bottom of this section. And there it is. You can see it now. As you come out there, now we go into Cardiac Hill. We enter into Cardiac Hill, and you'll see this guy's walking, and that's what a lot of people do. Now I've shown a map on the screen. Cardiac Hill itself, we're going to go around a right-hand bend here with this guy's walking, and you'll see on the map it's a dead straight line up, and this is the start of about a half a mile climb. So you go up this to the top, and then you come into another section here, which is called Breeze the Tree, section 4. And you're still climbing here, and in total you're climbing around about half a mile. It takes about 4.5, 5 minutes or so for an averagely fit person to ride up this. So you're still climbing here, so a little bit of work still. A lot of people stop at the top of Cardiac Hill. Now, when you get to the top, you come to high voltage, and this is section 5, and this is a great downhill section. It's one of the more exciting parts of the course, and they've set it up with lots of burns, lots of turns through the trees, and lots of little jumps as well along here. So if you can get some speed up, you do have to be a bit careful. It is there are a lot of trees, but if you can get some speed up, there's some real fun to be had here. There's one there, you'll see, and through the trees, keep dodging around, and it's just a great section. As you come through this section, you'll see that we meet the halfway point, and the halfway point of the whole of this section split. So the follow the dog, which we're doing today, goes off to the right, and the monkey trail goes to the left. And here we go. Anyway, still going through these trees, so great downhill section. You're really working here, and when you get down to the end of this, you really know you've done it. There's another one of those jumps, and another one. Yeah, absolutely fantastic section to have a go at. And of course, the better you are, the more confident you become. It's really an intermediate course, this is. It's a red course, not for beginners, but it's not too difficult, and you can take it at your own pace as well. There's another one of those jumps, and another one, and another one. I absolutely love these. So we're coming down through nearly towards the end of this section now. You'll see when we reach that in a minute. Through those trees there, and you're confronted at the end of this with a sign which tells you the monkey one way and follow the dog the other way. Over that drop there, that's quite a big drop, that is, and into the bend. And here we go, there's the red sign in front of us now. So as I say, if you go left, you go on the monkey trail, but we're going to go right on Zig Zak, it's called, section 6. And this section 6 is where the monkey trail meets onto this trail. So in a second you'll see, there it is there, just there. That's where the red comes up from the bottom near the Devil's Staircase. And we're going to be climbing up there. And so I've cut the climb out. It's quite a big climb. And we come to the end of that climb here. And we go on to section 7 now. And not a lot to say about section 7 really. You've done a lot of the climbing to get up to this point, and we're now at sort of a more flat area. And the same with AUNTFLO. This is AUNTFLO, section 8, or AUNTFLO, and again much of the same single track work. This one's a little bit better, getting a bit more speed up again here, and a few little things to watch out for though on some of these. There's one, for example, that stump there. These can easily catch you if you catch a wheel on there, or even a pedal. And so just dodging through these trees. They've taken a lot of the trees down since I've been going to Cannock Chase here, so it looks a bit like a scene out of the First World War with the tree stumps. And see, there's the odd rock set into the ground. Nothing too difficult or challenging on this particular section, but some nice turns, and you can get up some nice speed with this. Then we come out to the next section, and this is the bomb hole. And the bomb hole is really just it's just what appears to be a hole with a sort of a 180 turn around it, around the outside of it, and it seems to have got filled in a little bit since I've been going. I'm sure it was more marked when I first went there. And you're going down through the trees there, a few rocks there, and you'll see on this section there's a rocky section going down, and there's the bomb hole there, there's the bomb hole, and there you go round there. It's quite gravelly, and following it down, and you can jump over that section if you want to. Now there's a black here, so if you follow this to the left, down that and the second one, there's two rather big drops there, and then coming along those sections. Now I actually lost my chain there, so I had to cut that and started again at the Billy Goat's Gruff section 10, and here we're climbing again. You can generally tell when I'm climbing because my head's down a little bit further and the camera's not pointing quite so far forward, but this is just a bit of a climb section, and there's a few things here, this one coming around here. Now you've got to pedal hard there, and the next one as well, pedal hard. And what you've got to do, you've got to really get over those. They don't look that steep on the video, but they actually are in person. And here's one of those boardwalks again, just a short one. Just simply drop over the edge of that, nothing too difficult about that. So riding along, again, a few rocks there in the ground, but nothing overly challenging about this section. So still on the Billy Goat's Gruff, we've now moved forward a bit. I've just put this bit in, this seems to be new, and a few rocks, but a great downhill section, and you can see they're picking up some speed as we're going down there, and that was very good. And a few rocks, and a burn round. Now here we go some rocks down there on the left hand side, and then quickly out and round. Now as we come into section 11, time for a brew, I've cut this right out because it's really just a short climb between some trees. Nothing really much to report about that. Try and find a nice line to pedal through that because it is a bit gravelly. We go across the blue run there and we go into the Evil Slab section. Now the Evil Slab is because there's a short black section towards the end of this, which I've never been able to do. Basically it's just a slab that sticks out of the ground and you have to sort of ride up to it. Now we're coming down a hill here, and again I'd encourage anybody to pedal as hard as they can because you've got to get up this hill, around and still climb up out. So that's what I'm doing there. And there's the Evil Slab, is actually to the left hand side of where I'm riding there, and it's a very short black section, but it's really something I can't do. You've got to attack it, jump up it, and then flick your back wheel up as well. Now this brings us back out onto the main fire roads, and you just follow that fire road along, and here's Birches Valley Road, which is a busy road. You can see the cyclists waiting, and from there it takes you onto the TACKEROO event site where they used to do camping. Now the second section of the Follow the Dog starts here. Son of a Chain Slapper is a really excellent section and really fast and flowy. In fact, it used to be my favourite section of the whole course. Can really get some speed up here and some great jumping as well, and some G-force as you go up and down these sections. So you just have to be a wee bit careful as you come into some of these corners, like here. You can't see it, but there are quite a lot of bumps there being caused by people braking. And that's the end of that section. Now we come into Snow White, section 14, and you can see I'm still carrying some speed, and I actually quite like this section. It's quite fast and flowy, and you've got to pedal hard here, and you'll see the ground is looking quite loose, and it is, but you can really get some speed up, and it's got some nice turns in it, this as you go along, and you, for example, there, and again in a second we'll come round into another section as well, which is here, and we go round and over there, down this section and over to the left, and then swinging round to the right. Then you're coming out of the trees here. Now you start climbing again, and it turns into more gravel. So I find it's best to just pedal hard here. Follow a nice clean line. You'll see there I've got the clean line on the left hand side, and I'm climbing up as much in the clean stuff as possible to keep some traction. So that's the end of Snow White section 14. Now we're coming to section 15, Seven Dwarfs, Snow White and Seven Dwarfs. And here we've got some turns. Try and ride these as high as possible. It's about the smoothest section to follow, I find. And then across the trail there, and then we're going to have a turn to the left, and again you'll see how high I'm keeping those turns, and that seems to be the secret with this trail, to keep it flowing. Ride them as high as you can. It's the best line, and you'll keep the speed up. A lovely section. Now here we're going back round to the left again, and this is Pain in the Hardtail, as it's called, and you can see I'm still moving quite quickly even though I'm pedalling. I'm having to work here, and all the way through this section I am working quite hard, and then we get let loose in the trees. Now there's a black section coming up, and I don't bother with the black section there to the left, but follow this down. It's really quick, this is quite bumpy in places, but reasonably good traction, and the burns are quite good for taking the corners at fairly high speed. Just have to be a little bit careful, but you can see I'm moving there quite quickly through the trees, and this is a section which is really predominantly within the trees. Now when we come to the towards the end of the section, what we're going to do is we're going to find there's a black, and the black turns to the left, and we're going to follow that, and then we're going to drop over the edge of the black. So we'll see as we come to that how I actually deal with that. Now we've got this bend coming up here, which has been fixed recently. That's quite nice, and around another bend, and both times I came around here there was somebody on that corner. So here's the left turn I'm talking about. There's a black and a red, you'll see there, so I've put it on the screen, left for black, so you follow this round to the left, down. Now you've got to be careful here, because those trees there are very narrow, and it's quite a big drop, that is. Now I've gone this side of that tree, and then down that rock garden, with the speed that I've been able to pick up, and then really pedal hard here. Pedal hard to climb up as quickly as you can, keep some of that momentum going. Now that's an uphill section into that bend, and away we go. And then we've got another bend that goes round to the left in a section, in a moment. Here it is, round to the left. Keep high there, that's the best line to take, keeping high. Same thing here, keep high and pedal hard, and then we're up to the top to the next section, which is, are we there yet? Section 18, the penultimate section. I love these sections. I love this whole part of the course. It's really quick. So long fast turns here, and you can really get some speed up through the trees. There's not a lot to worry about here. There's not anything going to catch you out, as long as you keep your nerve. And you can see the clean line that people have followed, and really you can pretty much stick with that all the way around this section. Pedal though, you've really got to pedal to keep the momentum going and to keep your speed up. And fantastic, it's fantastic. I find it's fantastic to watch it as well as ride it. I really do enjoy this, and you can see just how wonderfully smooth this actually is. Nothing too difficult here. Over those rocks, and we're going to swing around to the right, and just keep pedal hard here, pedaling hard up the hill, and keep that momentum going. Even though I'm pedaling, it's not really noticeable. Do be careful of that tree there, because it's easy to hit that. Now we're going round to the right, and there we go, and still pedaling. We're still climbing here, but quite quick. It's easy pedaling, even though it's a bit of a climb. And then we come to the last section, which is snakes and adders, and then there's a rock straight down there, so we have to be ready for that. Now we've got some tight bends, and down over that rock. Now that's quite a big drop, that is, so you just have to be careful of that. So two big rock drops initially, and then it's much of what we did in the last section. We've got lots of fast flowing turns. Now this is the new section that they've just completed, and they've done a really good job of this. Here's some rollers as well that they've built into it, So you really get some speed up down here. And here's these burns, and there's quite a few of these, so you'll see I'm trying to take a high line to keep the speed up there. And same thing again, so there's quite a few through the trees. Wonderful section of the course. I did it 3 times this day, and I never get tired of doing that. In fact, I was getting faster and faster. This was the 2nd time I did it, but the 3rd time I did it was absolutely flying. So we're now into the trees again, and we're coming really now very much towards the end of the course. So that sign there, and there it is. There's the sign. That's the end. Birches Valley. And we're back there to the visitor centre where we started from at the beginning, and that's that. So thanks for watching, thanks for taking the time to join me with that, and I hope to see you in the next one.